Wanted to give you my owner's review at 120,000 miles. Kind of show you around the car of the wear and tear that 120,000 miles can do to a Tesla Model S. This is a 2013. It's a June build 2013, so it does not have autopilot, does not have Sentry mode. It is rear wheel drive with a very large front trunk, which you can see. It has a little section where the motor would be in the newer cars. This is a nose cone car, they call it. The new ones have a flat painted front. Now this, these have the headlights here that are a little bit more durable than the ones that came a little later. One of the things I love about this Model S is the really large trunk. Not only does it have the regular part of the trunk, it has a second trunk floor with a push button power tailgate. Working my way from back to front, this being a rear wheel drive car, it does tend to eat rear tires, and the camber is important. It's good to buy aftermarket camber adjustment arms. You can put those on. If you look at these tires, I bought the cheapest ones I could find. These are 265 ZR 3521s, and they're Falcons. The Continentals at $380 a tire just got to be too much. These are about $250 a tire, and the rear drive cars wear them out pretty quick. Stepping inside of the back of the car here, the back door, the older ones do have these really cool things for the roof racks, which I actually like if I ever got roof racks. This does have an opening sunroof. 120,000 miles. Wear and tear is pretty good. This does have the gray leather seats, and these are real leather versus the what they call vegan leather. This does have the advanced acoustic system with the subwoofer. One thing I do notice is if you look at the Model S, look how narrow, see how narrow this gap is to get in? I think a lot of sedans are like this, but boy, I would like to have an SUV with a really wide place to get in, because you gotta kind of contort yourself to get in. The other thing is, if you notice here, let the camera focus, this part here rubs, so every time you get in, you rub on this leather here, and it's worn this off. Stepping up to the driver's seat, you will notice my manufacture date here. It does have the wider rear tires, the 265 35 R21s, meaning this is a P85 plus. The plus stands for the wider rear tires and the stiffer suspension. It has 9-inch wide rims. Okay, coming inside on this 120,000 mile car, it's looking pretty good. Not a lot of scuffs. I mean, this is the daily driver, drives to work every day. It's not been detailed very well. This is just me taking care of it. It does need a real good waxing and detailing. This does have the Alcantara inserts here, and they're need to be cleaned up. But all in all, everything's wearing very well, I think. Just could use some spring cleaning. The steering wheel's getting a little bit of abrasion on the wheel, but you know, for 120,000 miles, it's holding up very well. Coming up to the front of the car is where it's had the most abuse, I would say, just from normal wear and tear. This car does not have any paint protection, no 3M clear coat film or anything like that, just other than wax its whole 8 years of life. I really wish it had a lot of that protection, because if you look, this is aluminum. The whole car is aluminum. All the bodywork's aluminum. But what happens is, instead of rusting, it oxidizes. Also, when I wax, it tends to hold the wax in the little scratches. So it does need, I would say, a respray, or I don't know if that can even be paint corrected or not, but it definitely needs a little love on the front end. Also, I tend to overuse wax a little bit. So it's got some wax buildup. Coming to the front of the car here, it does have this extra lip spoiler here that sticks out on the P85s. What's neat underneath the car though, as you see, is the flat floor underneath the car, because there's nothing to hang down, no exhaust, nothing like that. So it's just a flat completely flat under the car here. One thing I do love about this car is the light signature. For a 2013, it's pretty neat. It's got those little eyebrows, and then down below it's got the fog lights. And actually, when you turn your turn signal on and you turn the wheel hard, these little lights here light up, just like a Cadillac where it kind of shines the light over here. It's really neat. Knock on wood, I haven't had any issue with the door handles. They seem to be very reliable. The previous owner, I've only had this car a few years, but the previous owner must have gotten them all replaced with the newer version of these door handles, because they've been very reliable. I had the screens replaced, so this is a 12-inch driver screen. This is a 17-inch driver screen here. Now I had a high definition installed from Tesla. These are both crisper displays, and they both have the MCU2, which gives you more video games, but more importantly, Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, and all that. That's what MCU2 gave me. It also gave me a 4G LTE connection and also a faster Bluetooth module. So all that was for $1,500, which is pretty neat, because I had a Lexus where they just, if you wanted to replace the screen, they gave you the same screen that you had when you bought the car. It's not any upgrade. Where this one, I mean, it's really snappy. Now the web browser comes up really quick. I mean, if you look at this browser, it's just really snappy. Whereas before with MCU1, it was pretty slow. So I really, really like the new web browser. I do use it occasionally. Toy box, there's a few additions here, like tracks and stuff like that. I don't really play with that too much. One thing about these older cars is they have this, I call it like the minivan floor. There's, no console here. This is all open. You can put stuff down in here. You can put a laptop bag, almost anything, a purse, whatever. Put it all in there. They do make a lot of aftermarket stuff to put in here. And this section under here is like a drawer. You can actually buy a aftermarket drawer to put in there. Now in Florida, because it's so unbelievably hot in the summer, I had these suction cup, which sometimes they fall off, suction cup little protectors for the glass, because this thing just radiates heat right into the cabin. One of the problem areas for the older Teslas is the rear taillights. These would get, if you did a car wash or drove in the rain, there would be condensation in here. Everyone said just keep getting it replaced, but then I thought to myself, well, really it's a drainage problem. And so what I did was if you look, I drilled a tiny little hole from the bottom up here, and now the drainage just comes right out, and I never have any problems with it fogging. So that's kind of a neat little DIY. Of course, a lot of people are apprehensive about drilling, but I just took a little small drill bit and just drilled up into the bottom of the taillight. So it just gets a little drain hole now. The P85s do come with a little spoiler here, and this is carbon fiber, and it's actually starting to oxidize after 8 years. Not a big deal. It's not like it's coming undone. It's just oxidizing on that top clear coat. I will say, after years, this is still my dream car, even though it doesn't have all the new autopilot and Sentry mode and all the new tech. It is still fast, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. It's a great car, 8-year-old Tesla, original battery, but second drive motor. And it's definitely not babied, because you can see it needs to be detailed, but been driving in the rain here. And these wheels, these are 21-inch wheels. Everyone complains about how harsh they ride. I think they look great, but they are kind of a pain to keep clean. But you do feel a lot of bumps with them, but boy, it makes this car handle really, really well. The funny thing is the front tires probably have 30,000 miles on them, and these only go about 10,000 miles before they have to be replaced, just because there's so much rear wheel torque. I think it's like 450 foot-pounds on the rear wheels. Repairs, tires, the MCU, that's really it. All in all, I can't recommend these cars enough. You can pick them up now for about $25,000 starting, and you can get a P85 for about $30,000 in 2021. So hope this helped you out, and don't be hesitant about getting a Tesla. They're really not that difficult to live with. What I did here is I had a NEMA 1450 RV plug installed. Just a couple $100 worth of hardware here. And then this is an actual Tesla charger. See right there. And this is their portable charger, but I just use it here every day. And I got this for $350 from eBay. It was brand new, but it is a Tesla charger. So 350 bucks plus a couple $100 for the NEMA 1450 60 amp breaker. And that's all you have to do to plug in at home.